If you saw my last video on the top 10 cities to live in Mexico, you'll know that the country is home to opportunity, a low cost of living, and an extremely high quality of life. But unfortunately, this incredible country also grapples with significant safety concerns in certain cities due to the ongoing drug wars. In fact, between 2007 and 2014 alone, the Mexican drug war resulted in 164,000 deaths. For comparison, the entire Iraqi conflict during the same time frame saw 81,000 homicides, and the Afghanistan conflict saw 21,000 homicides. That means the Mexican drug war is responsible for almost 40% more deaths than two entire wars, and is one of the bloodiest conflicts in history. And although the brutality of this conflict takes place across the entire country, there are a few cities that are leading it. So, in today's video, we're going to dive into the top 5 most dangerous cities in Mexico that are driving this drug war, and why you should reconsider living, or even visiting, there in the future. Starting with number 5, Irapuato, situated in the central state of Guanajuato. Irapuato has seen a sharp increase in homicides, with a rate of 81 per 100,000 people. The city ranks as the 5th most dangerous on this list, and as the 6th most dangerous city in the Western Hemisphere, according to an article published in the Los Angeles Times. This rise in violence is largely due to turf wars between the Jalisco cartel New Generation and the Santa Rosa de Lima cartel. These cartels are fiercely competing for control over lucrative drug smuggling routes that lead to the United States, as well as battling for dominance in local drug markets and nightlife venues. The violence, while often hidden from the popular tourist spots, casts a long shadow over the region, affecting daily life and the overall atmosphere. Despite these dangers, tourists have continued to visit this city and unfortunately lost their lives. For example, back in early 2020, a group of people that included tourists were shot down on the side of the street while purchasing food from a taco stand. The incident serves as a stark reminder that, although governments are doing their best to contain the situation, tourists aren't exempt from the dangers. But as dangerous as this city is, it has nothing on what's coming up in this video, so make sure to stick around until the end. Number 4, Ciudad Juarez. Located next to El Paso, Texas, Ciudad Juarez is a city with a homicide rate of 86 per 100,000 people. The city's strategic position as a border town makes it a prized location for drug cartels, particularly the Juarez and Sinaloa cartels. These groups are engaged in a relentless struggle for control over the lucrative drug trafficking routes that pass through Ciudad Juarez into the United States. And this battle for dominance makes the city a dangerous place for both residents and visitors alike. Despite these challenges, the government and initiatives like United for Juarez have made significant efforts to improve safety and security. Alongside that, initiatives to bolster law enforcement, community policing, and social programs have been implemented in an attempt to reclaim the city from the grip of cartel violence. For visitors, however, Ciudad Juarez still presents a risk. While there are areas that are relatively safe, like the Golden Area near the U.S. Consulate and Misiones, the risk of violence real, and so tourists are advised to exercise a high degree of caution, stay in safer areas, and avoid unnecessary travel, especially after dark. Number 3, Ciudad Victoria. Ciudad Victoria is a city deeply impacted by drug cartel activities, particularly those of the Northeast Cartel. Its strategic location near the U.S. border makes it a critical point for gun violence and turf wars, which has also led to a homicide rate of 86 per 100,000 people. But it doesn't stop there, because the presence of the Northeast Cartel in Ciudad Victoria has resulted in a wide range of criminal activities that impact civilians as well, including drug homicide, extortion, and kidnapping. This has created an atmosphere of fear and insecurity for the residents. And to make matters worse, the cartel's influence also extends to local politics and law enforcement, making it difficult to restore peace and order. For the people living in Ciudad Victoria and tourists visiting, this means every day is overshadowed by the threat of violence and crime. Businesses and civilians frequently find themselves caught in the midst of cartel conflicts. And this ongoing situation not only affects the city's safety, but also its economy and social structure. Number 2, Acapulco. Most dangerous for cartels. Once a glamorous vacation spot, Acapulco now records the 2nd highest murder rate in Mexico, with 111 homicides per 100,000 people, and a total of 948 in 2018. The main reason for this surge in violence is the numerous poppy fields in the surrounding Guerrero region, with around 20 cartels vying for control to produce heroin. In fact, the U.S. has even barred government officials from visiting Acapulco due to the prevalent crime. Despite this harsh reality, tourists are are still drawn to its resorts, but the U.S. State Department advises caution, especially in areas outside the main tourist zones, and gives the city an overall safety index score of 63 out of 100. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. The most dangerous city in Mexico. The one, the only, Tijuana. Coming in at first place as the most dangerous city in Mexico is Tijuana, a city bordering San Diego, California. With a staggering homicide rate of 138 per 100,000 people and 2640 in 2018 alone, it's a hotbed for drug trafficking and organized crime. The city's proximity to the United States and strategic location as a drug trafficking route near the border has made it a prime target for cartel activities. The high homicide rate is a grim reminder of the ongoing turf wars between rival drug cartels. Despite this, Tijuana's cultural vibrancy and economic significance continue to draw people. It's a city of contrasts where bustling markets and vibrant street life coexist with areas of intense violence. Visitors are advised to stay in well-known tourist areas and avoid traveling at night. Despite these dangers, many day tourists visit Tijuana without incident, but it's crucial to stay in well-patrolled areas and maintain a low profile, as travel safe gives this volatile city an average safety score of 43 out of 100. With all that said, it's important to note that these cities, despite their challenges, are home to millions of people who go about their daily lives. They have rich cultural histories, vibrant communities, and many peaceful areas. However, the impact of drug cartels and organized crime cannot be ignored. So if you are considering any of these cities to live in, we suggest thinking twice. In fact, do yourself a favor and check out our other video on the top 10 places to live in Mexico. And if you live in or have visited any of the cities on this list, make sure to let us know what you thought in the comments section below. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.